Welcome to The Note, I'm Mica.
And I'm Gus.
Nintendo Twitter was absolutely on fire all week thanks to loads of speculation that the company had a super secret mega huge direct on the way, with Nintendo itself stoking the flames thanks to shitposting and memeing.
Top-level shitposting and
Top-level shitposting and memeing.
The rumored direct actually happened the way all the insiders and Nintendo relatives predicted, and like usual, the hype might have just been a little bit misplaced.
But hey, at least we got a Dark Souls remastered. That's big news, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like everybody else is also getting that game. Oh, wait, they actually totally are. Plus, a $60 remake of a 3DS game. Also a Donkey Kong game, but that's just another Wii U remake.
But this time people will play it.
Yeah.
Continuing the trend of games you played on other consoles and missed on the Wii U, which hasn't been that bad for them at all so far, actually.
Yeah, so what did we get from today's Direct, and did it live up to the hype that Nintendo contributed to this week? Well, let's break it down for you a little bit.
The major announcements from the mini Direct mostly came in the form of remakes and remasters. First up, they revealed a Switch port of The World Ends With You, a decade after the action RPG landed on the Nintendo DS, and not the 3DS, the DS. Remember that one?
Yup.
The game will be enhanced with Joy-Con motion controls, but will also retain its touchscreen controls from the original version.
The downside, though, it's gonna be 60 freaking bucks, or at least that's what its retail listing says at the moment. The original wasn't even $60 when it first came out, so
Inflation.
why?
Yeah, it's money's worth less.
Oh, alright, yeah.
Nintendo also started up an announcement for Mario Tennis Aces, a new Mario Tennis game that will release later this spring, along with a new version of Hyrule Warriors. In addition to that, they also showed off some more Kirby Star Allies, revealed new content for a number of pre-existing titles like Donkey Kong being added to Mario plus Rabbids, and a new balloon hunting speed mode in Super Mario Odyssey that's a little weird.
It's very strange. However, the big news for Nintendo fans was a remake of the Wii U's Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, along with the long-rumored Dark Souls Remastered. You might be asking yourself, what's the big deal about 2014's Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze? And nobody would blame you because the Wii U.
Yeah, of course.
But the critically acclaimed title was celebrated by the people who played it for having inventive boss battles, fun and challenging platforming, and it's freaking Donkey Kong. And the other good news is that it'll be out on May 4th, which is not far.
The math says that it's not far.
Yes.
I can't wait for the Captain Toad Treasure Tracker port.
Can
we get that
love
going?
that.
Yeah. As for Dark Souls Remastered, that one's going to be arriving on May 25th, following about a year of rumors. It was originally thought that the Switch would get the entire trilogy at once, but hey, this is pretty good too. Although it's not coming only to the Switch, Bandai Namco also revealed that it'll be releasing on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
But was all this worth the hype? And there was a lot of hype heading into this event. Some of that came from the community itself, but some of it did come from sneaky little Nintendo thanks to them playing coy and egging the speculation on with some of their tweets and teasers. It all started last week when Amazon put up a listing for as many as 18 unannounced Switch titles with a placeholder image indicating that they'd be revealed at an upcoming Direct. A couple of posters with a history of having some Nintendo information chimed in on the thread, saying that January 11th was the date they'd heard for the event itself.
And then the rampant speculation started.
Oh no!
Other rumors began floating around from, quote, insiders with a less reputable history, with one claiming that we'd likely see a slew of titles like Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption, Metroid Prime 4, and maybe even some news from the new Pokemon.
I forgot about all of that.
Yeah, they turned this little direct into E3 in their heads, and that was before Nintendo even got in on it. At one point in a thread where people were discussing it on Reset Era, someone mentioned that if Nintendo was watching, they should retweet a weird image they tweeted of a bird from Super Mario Odyssey earlier this month, and then Nintendo did exactly that.
Which means Nintendo is watching. Yeah, it was basically a we know that you know about the Direct kind of thing, but they still wouldn't announce it. In fact, they kept teasing fans with more tweets, including a burning Chibi Robo yesterday, which got fans even more thirsty, and even other brands like, of course, Sonic, Mega Man, and Assassin's Creed joined in on the teasing.
So maybe there was a little bit of blame on both sides for the hype. This Direct was still pretty important for Nintendo and has plenty for fans of the Switch to be excited about. For one, it shows that Nintendo is doubling down on remakes and remasters as a core part of their strategy. That's worked very well for them so far. Porting over the Wii U's best games has been a smart move on Nintendo's part, considering hardly anybody played that system, and it had a lot of quality titles. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. And having some of your favorite games from last gen on the go has been another enormous benefit for the system so far as well.
Plus, it also assures fans that the regular cadence of interesting software on the Switch that Nintendo established in 2017 is going to continue on to 2018. Spring is already looking fairly packed for the console, and that's before we know more about some of the other indies we can expect on the eShop, or whatever presumably happens with the Virtual Console later this year as well. If we ever see that, if it actually exists, I don't believe it.
If it ever happens. If you're worried that we didn't see much about what happens after the spring, that's pretty typical for Nintendo. Nintendo. They tend to do these directs to focus on what you'll be playing over the next few months, not what you're going to be playing later in the year. So we've still got a lot of stuff to look forward to potentially, and everything we got today was previously unannounced, which means there are definitely going to be some more surprises in store down the road.
So what do you guys think of Nintendo's mini direct? Not enough? Just right? Were you expecting Fire Emblem like a lot of us were? Let us know in the comments.
And for future updates on Nintendo games in 2018, remember to like this video and subscribe to the Note.
Can we get Mario 3D World? Or what was it? Super Mario?
3D World.
3D World, yeah.
Cat Peach.
Yeah, can that go please be on the Switch? I'd play that.
Yeah, the
Neko Momo?
weird
Neko
Google
Momo.
Doc formatting thing is
Cat
pretty
Peach,
weird.
yeah. Neko Momo. Meow meow!
Yan yan.
Yan yan! Could do this whole read in yan.